Greetings, greetings, greetings. What's up? What's happening? It's your brother Ron Hotel. Um, Everything that like what I believe about, I guess you can say, the whole biblical end of the world and the whole biblical apocalypse is straight up on some alien shit. Straight up on some alien shit. Like, I don't subscribe to anything predicated upon religious doctrine and dogma about Jesus coming back and he's gonna save everybody and and all of this and that, because that's all bullcrap to me. That's all mumbo jumbo to me. And the thing about it is that you have absolutely no proof, or the pastor provides you no proof as to how these things are going to happen, or why these things are going to happen, or even when these things are going to happen. You've been hearing this message before you was born. And you just sit up here and believe it, but then somebody gets up here and they get to talking about the occult, and they get to talking about spirituality and giving you proof of the scriptures, researched and based upon them being revealed in their original tongues, and then you got a problem with it. And then you saying that person is mentally insane and mentally sick, but the pastor provides you absolutely no proof as to when God is going to come back, or what does Jesus even look like, or what is God. You have no proof. You just sit up there and listen to what the pastor has to say, and you sit up there and listen to what the preacher has to say. But then when somebody, like I said, myself and others come up here and get to speaking about and research and giving you books and everything to research, then you say that we need to go back to college and we need to have more proof, and we're not an authorized authority. So basically what you're saying is that the real true God is these people that give you degrees and these so-called scholars and all of this, and if they give you a degree and if they give you letters behind your name, if I went to a divinity school, then I'm an authorized scholar. So therefore I have to feel like I got to go out here and get some education in the so-called matrix, and then basically what's in this lower level construct to feel like I'm authorized to do something. So then you got people feeling like they got all these gifts and things of that nature, but they got to go get certified. You can't even do landscaping without feeling like you got to go get certified. You got to go get some degree. That's dumb. That's dumbing you down, killing your willpower and killing your motivation, and that's not spiritual. That doesn't make you authorized. It's people that have doctorate degrees in economics, and they can't tell you shit about the economy. So when I get up here, and this video is based on a question that was sent to me on Twitter, and they wanted me to do a video on the end of the world and the apocalypse, and really what does it really truly mean. And your whole concept of the end of the world comes from the Bible, and it comes from the book of Revelations. Period. That's what all Christians, no matter how you square it up, this is how they look at it. This is where they get their information about the end of the world from. And it's a lot of stuff in there in the book of Revelations. I mean, you got dragons running around in the book of Revelations. Nobody asked the preacher to explain that. But then if I go make a video about dragons, I'm crazy, or I'm this and I'm that. You got talking lions in the book of Revelations. You got lambs that talk in the book of Revelations. What does all this mean? What does all this mean? And I have to do separate videos isolating each incident. I mean, you got a woman that's got stars over her head. It's supposed to be a crown. If you seen a woman with some stars over her head walking around, you probably shoot her and say she was a witch. But then you believe in the Bible. So the first thing I got to do is get you to break down your mindset about Christianity and the Bible and what you've been taught to believe, and rethink these things. See, when I think about the end of the world, it talks about the book of Revelations about Babylon. This city called Babylon is supposed to fall, and it's supposed to get destroyed, and all of this stuff is supposed to happen in this city of Babylon. What is it? Is this really a city? That this is going to happen? Is this a country? Some people say it's a country. Is this the whole world? Is this symbolic? Is this really a Babylon? Where is Babylon at here in the world right now? There's no place called Babylon, but then you say the book of Revelations is supposed to be about the future. The book of Revelations was based on a dream that John, the son of Zebedee, had a vision and a dream about the end of the world. And this is where Christians and I guess even some Jews or whatever get their end of the world experience from, and what things are going to be like when the world ends. But how do you really know that that's what it means? Are these things to be just taken literal? Is this literally going to happen? Is a kingdom going to literally come out the sky and be set up on earth? Because they say it's supposed to be this new heavens and this new earth, according to the book of Revelation. Is this really going to happen? Or is this something symbolic? Or is this even a coded script written by some priests a long time ago, or some extraterrestrials, to give you clues on how things were going to go down? And that's what I say. That's what I tend to believe, because of me researching the scriptures, and not only the original tongues, but researching other books like the Gilgamesh epics and studying Zechariah Sitchin in them. And they'll straight up tell you, when you study Zechariah Sitchin in them, that Babylon represents, this translates to a gateway to El. Babylon means gateway to El, or gateway to a deity. That's literally what it is. When Nimrod, he was supposed to have built what's called a Tower of Babel. This is where they get the term Babylon from. So they say that Babylon is going to fall. So what is that talking about? So this is talking about when extraterrestrials come back. Extraterrestrials come back through a portal or through a gateway to check on their creation, to check on their experiment. These are scientists. And when these aliens come back, they're going to weigh out the progress of humanity. What have we been doing all this time? Type of thing. Are we progressing? Are we further along than where we were when they left? Because the extraterrestrials left. You see, and they come back through a portal. At a certain point in time, they're going to come back through a portal. This is where, when they talk about Nibiru coming back, this is when they say heaven is going to come to earth. Nibiru represents heaven. And one day Nibiru is supposed to come back, and we're supposed to all see Nibiru. This is the true heaven, based upon what I believe. And these extraterrestrials are going to come back and they're going to check on their creation. They talk about Judgment Day. It's supposed to be this apocalypse, and they're going to judge, and you think it's based upon sins and doing right and wrong and things of that nature, when it's not based on that. It's based on, has humans, since the extraterrestrials left, have we been able to further ourselves and to balance ourselves with the negative energy that rules this particular planet? And that's where, when you read about the dragon and knocking a third of the stars out of the sky, this represents the Kundalini energy, which is negative, scientifically negative. Not negative in a sense of bad or evil or anything like that, but scientifically negative because it's chaotic. This is what makes it negative. It's dark. It's based upon the North Pole and the South Pole. And dark energy and light energy is channeled through the poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. So when they say that they were going to build a gateway to El, they have to build, this gateway or this portal comes through the North or the South Pole. These extraterrestrials, when they come back through portals via the North Pole and the South Pole. There's energy that flows in a spiral through the North Pole and the South Pole, like this. So imagine this being the circle, which is the Earth, and then you have energy that flows from the North Pole to the South Pole like a spiral, and it's cyclic. And during certain solstices, this portal opens, and these extraterrestrial beings can come through, and we don't really know when they're going to come through, but really, I believe they already came through. They're here right now. This is why the Earth is so different. This is why the Pope is going to be coming to the United States. The Pope knows about aliens and extraterrestrials. He's fully conscious and aware of these things. Why do you think he's coming here? Some people say that Babylon represents the United States of America, or wherever the case may be. Which very well may be the case, because you have a lot of aliens in the United States of America. Because most people in the United States of America are not indigenous to this country. So that makes you what? An alien. That makes you a foreigner. So when it talks about aliens coming back, you think that it's going to be like aliens that look like something you see off of a Star Trek movie or something like that. But how you know it's not talking about aliens in the sense of human beings that are possessed by occult influences that are going to visit different lands and different places. You see, when it talks about this particular dragon that knocks a certain amount of stars out of the sky, but then you look at the American flag and you look at the U.S. flag and you see 50 stars, but then you see people riding around with Confederate flags representing the separation of the states. These are the Confederates. So this is letting you know that certain states have broken away. I'm just dropping knowledge on different levels, so I know it's like random and I started out talking about aliens, but this stuff can be decoded on multi-levels. The stuff that's in the Bible, there's like 6, 7 different interpretations for each scripture. The alien interpretation, the sovereign interpretation, the esoteric metaphysical interpretation, all going on in the book of Revelations. So when it talks about these stars getting knocked out the sky, this represents states breaking away. See, that's what you guys don't realize. There's certain states that are not a part of the United States is not united anymore. Yeah, they got you thinking, you see CNN is coming on the news and X, Y, Z, and you think, well, it's all the same America. That's not the case. I travel these lands and talk to people in government. And I was talking to this lady, this particular lady was talking to us when I was doing some traveling earlier, and she was a particular bus driver. She was breaking down how when you cross over from South Carolina to even North Carolina, you are in United States territory, but when you get into South Carolina, that's not even considered the U.S. anymore. Why do you think that South Carolina is still waving that Confederate flag and they say they took it down or whatever the case may be? They still waving it. They driving around with Confederate flags every day. This stuff is still going on. Because this represents the Confederate, this represents 50 states. It's supposed to be 50 states, but a lot of states have broken away from the Union and have declared their sovereignty. There's a lot of states, there's almost a third of the stars. Like they said, there's almost 17, at least 17 states that have broken away. This is a third of the stars being knocked out of the sky. There's different states, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, different states. They're not a part of the U.S. anymore. Everybody's separate. They're running their own economies, and they're not right in front of your eyes and right up under your noses. So this represents the true end of the world, anarchy. Judgment represents anarchy. Anarchy is basically when the world goes into a state of no government. Where it's like every man for himself, and that's pretty much how it is right now. Everybody wants to be a sovereign. Everybody wants to be this. Everybody wants to be that. And this is all prophesied to happen. You talk about aliens coming back. When you got, like I said, aliens here on this particular planet. You see, so this is what this stuff is really talking about. When you talk about there's going to be this particular lamb that's supposed to come back, and this lamb is going to supposedly save 144,000 of the people that have been chosen, or 144,000 of the elites. And you thinking this lamb is Jesus. That don't have nothing to do with you. They're not going to care about you. The elites are going to represent the Illuminati, the elite class, those who have been initiated into the occult, the rulers and the manipulators of the world. And this lamb is going to come back and set up a government within a government to save the chosen ones. You see, to save the chosen. How you know the next president that comes in is not going to be the lamb? He's only going to save the chosen ones, and the chosen ones are going to be people that have enough money to survive the financial collapse that's going to take place when people can't get jobs. And the chosen people are going to be people that's got money, the rich. You see, so this is what this stuff is talking about or whatever, and it needs to be decoded and it needs to be interpreted, and there is a higher extraterrestrial interpretation to it. You are going to see UFOs and things like that. People seeing them right now. But you're waiting on this big event. When you think about the end of the world, you're waiting on all these ships to come all over the world. You're waiting on CNN and all these people to come on and document and say, the end of the world is here. We just saw Jesus. We saw this light in the sky. They're not going to tell you. You need to go on this site. You need to go on this site. I think it's called UFO where every day they just post different UFO sightings. These people posted over 100 different UFO sightings every day, just in the U.S. alone, video footage. You think somebody crazy, you think I'm lying or whatever. They know this stuff is real. All of this stuff, they know. They got sites. It's here. They're not going to tell you. It's just one day you're going to find yourself in a position of the victim. You're not going to be able to do business the way you used to do business. The stock market, is going to shift. And they already finna shift the stock market to Chicago. They ain't even told you that. They get ready to move the New York Stock Exchange to Chicago, and they about to tie it into the commodities because Chicago has what's called the Mercantile Exchange or the Commodities Exchange. They get ready to move from paper assets to commodity-backed assets. The economy's shifting. The new government is coming. It's here. Wait till the new presidential election. Wait till 2016. You'll see what I'm saying. This is why I have to offer the information to the starseeds, because if you want... See, my thing is that, I have a few people listening to me. I have a voice, and it's like if you want this new president or whoever gets elected, if you want them to think about the starseeds and you want to be a part of this new economy, and you for real about it, and you truly, you want to be sovereign and have, be a part of this government within a government, I want to form a starseed government. And the way you do that is to get the elected official to listen to you, because you don't have any money as a starseed. I don't have a lot of money as a starseed, but I have a voice. It's not about money. You see, I have a voice and I have people listen to me, so that's a resource. And when this new president, because people wonder, what are you going to do? You keep saying you're going to do something in September for the starseeds. Because we want to petition this particular new president between September and the end of this year, so that when the new president comes in, they will allow us to share in this new economy that's being formed, backed upon commodities and based upon commodities. And the listeners and subscribers that we have are our resources that we can set up and secure finances through, to set up a hedge fund or something like that through. These are resources that we have, so that when this thing goes down, and when this new president comes in, that's when they're going to really put the nail in the coffin once the new president is elected. This is going to be the new lamb. It's basically what I'm telling you, the Lamb of God. It's going to be this new president. Only the elite or those who are versed in occult language will be saved. See, Christianity ain't going to save you. Who's going to listen to you? Who's going to petition on your behalf as a person that's into the occult? You believe in these things and you believe in crystals and all of that, but you don't have any land. You can't save yourself. I mean, you can save yourself through knowledge, but I'm saying you don't have anywhere to build anything on your own. You don't have a lot of resources and money. So we have to petition this particular new president, whoever the Illuminati or the elite select. You might say, oh, you saying going with the Illuminati, you saying you about to go with them. You don't even understand, this whole thing about that. Don't get caught up on the Christian, what these churches are telling you about the Illuminati and what they telling you about basically the Illuminati. They worship the devil and all of this, that, and the third. I've taught you enough, so you should know that I know that the devil just represents dark, arcanic energy and all of that. So we're not caught up on this Christianity type of concept. You see, this is essentially a concept based upon people that know symbology, know about the occult, know about hidden symbols and symbology, and they want to have a voice. They want to be heard, and eventually even have resources and jobs based upon doing what they love, which is studying the occult, which is teaching the occult, which is, passing this on to the youth eventually. So we have to have a voice at the end of the day, because no Jesus is going to come back and save. I'm telling you, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The pastor ain't giving you, so when is Jesus going to come back? You need to ask your pastor that, because they keep talking about these people worshiping the devil and this, that, and the third. When is Jesus going to come back and stop all of this? See, all of this is happening. When is the pastor going to start giving good explanations on the book of Revelations? I know I'm just bouncing around here on this video, just trying to answer questions here and there as I can, but I can give you a real loud explanation on all of those scriptures. Can your pastor do that? And I didn't go to divinity school. You challenge me on any question, I will answer it. You tweet me at Master Ram Hotep, any question, I will answer it. You see, I don't get around to really, it takes me a while, but I will answer any of your questions. on any part of the book of Revelations on what it truly means. I'm available. I'm not going to kick you out the church like they'll do. They'll kick you out the church and say you can't ask this question, or it's just crazy, man. So it's all about like, what are you like? What are you going to put your energy into? What are you truly going to do as things get worse? You can talk bad about, the Pope and he doing this. Everybody wants to talk about the negatives, but what is your solution? What are you going to do to save yourself? What are you going to join? Are you going to just keep working this job and eventually they're going to lay you off and they'll call all the economies, all these companies are going to get restructured. They're not going to need you anymore. Then what are you going to do? So this is what you need to think about. You see, before you offer your energy over to people just because they have different letters back in their name and so-called degrees and you think it's okay to give your life to them. Doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's about furthering your own educational knowledge, reading as many books as you can, and getting deeper into yourself so that you can become a better person at the end of the day, so you can answer these questions for yourself. You don't need to go to other people and ask them questions. And if somebody's going to say that they're going to teach you, they have to be available to answer any of your questions and give a real life explanation so that you can have a peace of mind and contentment. So that's my views on it, man. Like, the end of the world is here, the apocalypse is here, the Bureau is going to eventually come back, extraterrestrial alien beings are here, right up under your nose as this is going down and you don't see it. Don't wait till it's too late. No more.